Oh. Okay. Hello there. Thank you for joining. Hang on, y'all. Give me 1 minute. I don't know why I came on, and I'm sorry for being late. I'm so late. Okay. I'm so sorry. Hey, y'all. Hey, being Brit. Oh, I'm out of breath. Okay. So I usually have my headphones on, but they weren't my headphones. My nephew left them with me, and they're all back over here tonight. So I decided to give him his headphones back, right? I was using them because he left them, but I didn't want to claim them. So he was excited to get them. And I didn't want to bother him for him. Oh, I'm out of breath. Dang, I was moving fast. All right, so whew, thank y'all for being here. I appreciate it. Interesting live tonight. It won't be long. Trust me, because I'm so tired. But it's got it's along the lines of course, Polly, which is what the title of it is, along with Sister Wives. I'm bringing this up. There is no disclaimer. Someone yesterday, was it? I think it was yesterday. Said something to me along the lines of if I would be interested in a poly relationship with them. And my mouth was wide open, not because of what they asked me, because I'm going to give my opinion on that and the rundown of the reality of that. But I expected him to say more because, of course, we're going to get into it. That's not it. Now, I had explained to TikTok my lives, probably in some series on how I felt about that subject. And being that these are people that I know in real life, the person that asked me this, he knows how I feel about that subject. So I didn't want to make him say anything, but listen to my thoughts on this. I don't even know how I want to explain it because I couldn't believe he. I was not shocked by him asking me that. I was just shocked at the delivery. Like this is your pitch? Oh wow. I'm not going to guide you on how to serve your pitch, but no. So this is my thoughts on it. Now, this gentleman is not married, neither am I. I do not think three single people in a said committed relationship towards each other is a relationship. I think it's an open relationship for you to very much so fairly claim other people outside of the relationship because you're not married. And it's just double dipped in super sin, if you would. Ain't no such thing, but it's. I believe that there are women that aid as a handmaid would have been, or a said concubine. You have the new terms for everything now, the side chick, the mistress, and they're all serving the wrong purpose. I believe everything has a purpose and everything has a place. Hey, Gina. And everything has its place. Um, all right, I'm gonna get into it. I was kind of leaning over a little bit, but I'm gonna get into this subject. Now, I find it very sensitive because I try not to make myself sound weird. You know what I mean? I'm not a weirdo. I understand and I comprehend very well. I don't have a. Is that the. Are those kids up? Hold on one second, y'all. I don't have a sexual appetite to want or have the need to participate in something like this. But what comes along with something like this is you can't be asking me no shit like that being just as single and being a part of Community Dick Foundation. I don't know who the other person is. There's no dialogue behind it because doing something like that would involve yourself with sharing your mind, sharing your space, sharing your time. And okay, I'm gonna stop playing. I'm gonna get real with y'all because I guess y'all could say y'all my friends, right? First of all, nobody, I'm not in the mood to have my place, she have a place and you have a place, and everybody just decorating themselves all the way around the world. It don't work like that. If there were to be something of the sort, you got to remove that word poly. I ain't into that. There must be a marriage with a foundation, meaning someone must recognize their place, meaning the wife, number one, has her place as number one. Well, really number two, because the husband would be number one. Now, that other helpmate slash handmaiden slash concubine, I'm not going to be her. I'm not going to be her. And in situations like that, now I would be the wife and I could accept that depending. This is the part that I think a lot of men leave out. Because if it doesn't go this way, then it's just a big orgy or you just having the choice of who you want to fuck on Monday, Tuesday, or what have you, right? No. The idea is to come to your wife and whatever, and it has to revolve around the situation in the household, things going on within the home. Let me be clear. Might have a big house, Husband works trucking, do whatever he does, he's always gone. Somebody got to tend to the kids. The wife might be able to travel on the road with the husband, or the handmaiden might be able to travel on the road with the husband. The wife may or may not be able to have kids. They probably used to do that back in the day. That makes me think of Sarah and Abraham and Hagar. You have to have structure, because without the structure, everybody gonna be all over the place thinking that they are in this position and that position don't even belong to them. Now, this is why I say a wife has to be present with things like this, and don't think of it in the sinful way of how the media and how man has taught us, because we that's when we start to make it out to be full of sex. It is not based on sex. It should not be based on a sexual relationship. I'm sure that comes into play. However, it's not supposed to be the foundation of the relationship, if you would. The wife might have a business that she's doing very well and busy at, and she might not be able to take Jacob to soccer practice or get things done at home as she would. And the husband may tend to love or feel a type of way towards her. Here's the thing about it: when things like this are presented to women, or when men present things like this, I don't think they be knowing how to word it. They don't know how to pitch their sale, if you would. First of all, you have to have a home. You have to have structure, something to make these women feel safe about and not in competition. Make your wife feel good and above all, because she is next under you. Don't make her feel weird about inviting no other woman into the household, into the relationship, because it's bigger than that. You have to know how to explain that to a woman, you know. And the first mistake that men make is mentioning, "Oh, can I get another woman?" Or I think that's so tacky, because number one, depending on how you pitch it to the wife, if she says no, you have to let it go, because anything that you bring in afterwards, or if you suggest it, now you're making her feel some type of way, as if she's inadequate. That's not the goal. The goal has to be for whatever that you all are building. If it's to, you know, gain more money and then you all separate later. I don't know. That maybe separating is the wrong thing, but I just felt that the approach that was given to me wasn't enough, because I wanted him to go into how what do you mean? Like how? Where is my position? I'm not about to be a part of no relationship. You come over Tuesday, then you go see her Thursday. I'm not. That's weird. I could do that by myself, you know? Are you going to marry me? And then let me think about that, because there are things that I want to come with that. I want to not feel weird. She must understand who she is to us. She's not a slave, but she's not, you know what I mean? So what is the purpose of doing that? And what the hell you asked me for? Who what approach in this was something that made you say, let me go ask her? I would like to understand it a lot better had there been more dialogue behind it, because I don't think that men, you have to not only be structured about yourself, you have to be selfless. You have to recognize that one may be feeling some type of way. You have to recognize things that you may not have been paying attention. A womanizer should never be in a position to, hey, AMT, discuss or talk about or expect a woman to be as such when talking about things like this. This is a very sensitive subject because women feel like they get cheated on anyway. You know, and quite often they do, and it's not a good thing. And men think it's better if they just do it, you know, with the other woman knowing. That's not true. Women are far more smarter than men are. We are sneakier. We cheat more. They cheat, but they just don't give a fuck. And sometimes, and so often they get caught. They're very careless. Women, you won't know what the fuck going on unless she just, stupid in love with whoever, wherever she at on the other side of town. And she just, things just start sliding through the cracks for her. But women are very needy. I am a woman. I am very needy. If I love you, I can't share you. So this is why I said there was so much dialogue missing, and I feel like I want to teach him how to go get, if that's what he want, you can get that, not from me, because I can't participate in no activity where we're separate. First of all, you would have to marry me. You would have to create a home. You would have to create things to make me comfortable to accept myself accepting your lifestyle. Nah, you want me to give up the fact that any man that I might meet could be my husband, as opposed to me playing three-way thumb tag with you and her? And what are we doing? What, rules would have to be set. I'm not sleeping with her. So what is it that you would really, really want? Pardon me, I got the hiccups. What is it that you were expecting? This is why I say a lot of men, when they talk about things like this, they're only talking about it for the benefits of sex. To have the choice of different pussy whenever within your access, as they would call it. What do they call it? At home. Uh, it's a word for it. But anyway, you have your own two sets of vagina lips within your home. To the average man, that would be a world of excitement. But are you able to maintain a home with two women who might smile just for the benefit of you, but really dislike each other? May not necessarily, be sister wives as most people would portray it to be, or they make it seem so, oh, it's such a beautiful foundation to have as far as business and everybody getting money, like a lot of we see the Mexican Americans doing, and the Mexicans, working hard and sticking together. Nah, quite often men do it because it's about sex. And women are very vulnerable. We love men, and we often might say yeah and step outside of our element to some dumb shit. And then you wonder why she's sad and depressed and losing weight because you over there with Margaret, and you said you didn't really like Margaret like that. Margaret was here to do the cooking and make life easier for me. Listen, those things are so far gone because the era that we're in, facts, because the era that in-house, thank you, Gina. That's what I was that's what I was thinking about. They call it the in-house pussy, right? So, the only thing about the sexual part, facts, AMT. That's exactly what I was looking for, Gina, in-house. So, you know, it becomes later pushed on like, oh, it's okay, I like it, I accept it. Meanwhile, knowing damn well the woman does not accept it. She's not happy. In order for those things to be happy, You have to show a woman communication on all kinds of levels. You have to check her temperature, see how she feeling. Motherfucker be in the kitchen cooking a whole meal, depressed and mad as hell. Some people clean their whole house when they mad. Some people turn their radio on, just clean the baseboards. Listen, you a cleaning ass and you mad as hell if you start cleaning them baseboards, okay? I tagged mine earlier this month. Play with it. So, men have to think about that. You have to think about that one woman that might feel neglected a little more. You might spend more time, caressing her breast more than you have her. And so she might feel some type of way. These are the things that they have to factor in instead of asking. This motherfucker asked me, uh, you know what I want? I would really like a poly relationship. And I was going to ask you if you were interested because I remember you was talking about it. And I was saying to myself, nah, you don't remember me talking about it because you would have never asked a motherfucker like me no shit like that the way you asked me. He didn't say it disrespectful, but I think he was afraid to say the other part. Let me explain. Men are okay with rejection. It's not that they can't handle rejection. They're okay with rejection. Um, Embarrassment would come to anybody. So it wouldn't so much be that men are afraid of rejection. But I'm mentioning that because a man doesn't really want to hear the structure of something that they want to do, or a woman, me, explaining, well, I have rules. Number one, he don't want to hear that shit from me. Number two, once I say it, he's gonna leave me hanging and create those same rules that I gave him and go teach him to somebody else and round up his two. I ain't got no problem with that. But I'm not gonna give you my gift of gab, unless we really learning and having a session. You can't, and I know that's what he'll do. So I actually want to have this conversation with him to see if he even remembers my thought process on this. Because my thing is, what are you searching for in life so much that you absolutely feel like you need two women and that I should be one of them? Nah, cause y'all gonna be mad at me. If I'm the wife, which I could only be, there is no everybody in the bed together sleep. Nah, if the baby crying, she gotta get up. You gotta run background checks on her. You're inviting people in your homes, in your lives, around your husband. You know, um, Certain things have to be discussed. You know what I mean? And when you tell people stuff like that and you put up boundaries, they ain't going for it. They want to do it their way. But then they'll sit by themselves and think about it like, oh, well, that makes sense. Okay, well, I'll do it this way. That pick and choose from type shit. Nah, when you do things, you have to do it a certain way. And too many women at one time for a man is never a good thing. It never was and it never will be. And the reason why we speak on that is because of Solomon. Yes, he did have a lot of wives and concubines. But after like the first and the second, like what are we doing? Now it becomes a desire for it becomes a feeding to your ego or a desire for sex, a desire to be seen great, having multiple having multiple women. It's not a flex, I'm sure for him back then. Of course, now, even so, among certain men, it's not really a flex. What it is What it is it has everything to do with, well, like with Solomon participating in, relationships with so many women, you forget the first three that you married. You neglect the 40th woman. After a while, you don't even know who the 10th one is. It's impossible. This is where the defeat comes in at, because now you're dealing with so many, personalities and spirits and, you know, um, sexual beings that you, what's the word? You, you become intertwined with it pretty much. You don't really have a relationship with these women. It's just for show, it's for ego, it's playing, you know. Women that want to be a part of something like that so grand, it's something is wrong with them. It is. Something is wrong. They're searching for something that they feel they can't get alone, and they will pretend that they're happy. I accept this. This is fine. I'm just no. You want that man, and it's okay to want that man, but we can never want that man that bad and that much that we will want that man along with her. But bitch, I love him, but I don't love him that much. If I love you, I can't share you. I would be devastated to know you you at the end of the hall hugging on her because she belongs to you too. And I gotta walk down that hall and go to the kitchen and act like I don't see that. Come on, we not gonna play these mental games with me because I'm real life crazy. So that's why I'm like, bruh, do you gonna have to explain that and talk to me a little bit, because I don't think you quite know, you know, either the severity or the upside of it, because it can be a glowing side to this. It's just that everybody has to be on the same page. Solomon fell from grace because of the women. Because of the women. Women, we are so sneaky. We may not be out there doing anything or passing your pussy out. I get it. But you're okay with the flirt from who you want it to be nice, who you want the flirt to come from. Sometimes you put a little extra pep in your step around a certain somebody or around certain people, I suppose. The pants might fit a little snugger. You put your good bra on that day. All kinds of things get factored in and we play it off as it's innocent. No, we're worse. We're worse. It's just that when we get one that we love, we would expect it to be the same way. But men aren't like that. They hold a certain something about them that it's believable that you can find one diamond in the rough like that. My friend Black Boy 4 that I would always brag about and stuff, he is the perfect gentleman. Listen, if he ain't the one, I don't know who is. But I can't talk to him right now because I'm getting myself together. So, I push people away when I shut down, and I'm shut down. But I do believe that he is one. He deserves another wife, if you would, if that's what he wanted, for life to uh for him to be served in life by his wife, if you would. He does. Certain people, um hey Charlotte, have, and it's not that they deserve it because they're good people or whatnot. No, it's his relationship with the Father that I admire and that I understand. So with me knowing that, I know that he would he would understand a handmaiden, you know. He would understand certain things for certain things, even with his children. So, but it's not that I'm into that or I'm looking for that. I'm not, but it's just sometimes you have to explain things to people on a different level so that they can understand it. Because nowadays you saying some shit like that to somebody with a mindset like me. That's why I asked him. I said, "Do you know what poly is? Like, let's do you are you in the mood to talk about this? Like, can you remove the word poly, and replace it with a marriage with a concubine?" Because again, like I said, playing that role of, yeah, we're gonna do poly and I'm here, you're there. Hey, MC Square, and she's over there. That's just bed hopping. That's just fucking uh your two favorites. That's crazy to me. That don't even make sense. I could never be your or anyone's side woman, or what's the other word? Um I could never be the mistress as of now. I ain't saying I hadn't been before, y'all. I'm so human. But today, nah, you can't even. They can cut them damn lights off tonight. Them bitches just gonna be off. Cause you can't pay me to do that. Cause I'll be hot damn John Brown if somebody did that to me. But this is why I said I couldn't be no handmaid. Like, what the hell you asking me? She's number one, or if she's number one, you fuck you. There's nothing I can do about that. But knowing me, I can't participate anyway. I'm not gonna. I don't have the desire to fulfill no relationship by needing to be with two extra people, with an extra person. So it's three of us loving on one person, and I have to respect you and build a friendship and a sisterhood with you because you love the man that I love. And we both sitting here stupid and decided to make this work because he's the best we're gonna ever experience in life. And that's just that. I don't see an outcome in that being positive for nobody. And it ain't about the man. The only time it'll be concerning the man, because men don't think straight. They always think with their penises. You have to be financially secure, either spiritually, financially. You got to have it going on in some kind of ways. Abraham was financially secure, and most of all, he was spiritually secure. Um, with Hagar. Solomon was financially secure, and of course, in the beginning, most definitely spiritually secure. His fall from grace came along with the women. But, you know, we don't have mindsets now where and I ain't even talking about thinking like old school, because no, some of our grandparents and parents cheated just because, and they stayed together because it helped keep the rent down and paid the bills and the mortgage and stuff as a team. And they just, for all the wrong reasons, but for the right reasons. um we have, the older people from back in the day, like one of my grandparents. Goodness, I hope nobody I know be listening to my lives, but one of my grandparents was my grandfather. He had this woman he was seeing for years around the corner from their house. And nobody knew. I found out late down along the line. But I said that to say there was no flashing and boasting about things. My grandfather and my grandmother had 13 children. Maybe she was his time away from home with all them damn kids running around that he was creating. You know? I don't know the reason why he had the lady from around the corner, but she was there. She was around for a while. From what I hear, I believe she was a school teacher. Ain't no telling, she might have been teaching him how to read. I don't know. But people do things, and there's no such thing as, well, I might as well let a woman into our relationship because these men gonna cheat anyway. Not all of them will. Not all. Not all. They might cheat if they're not married, but if they're married, I don't believe that all men cheat when they're married. I do believe that it's easier for them to seek outside of marriage once the desire has faded. If there has been some situations going on sexually that don't exist anymore, I do believe that there could be a desire or a want to jump outside and have some fun and fulfill that desire. But other than that, no, I don't want to. I can't wait to talk to him and tell y'all what he's saying about this, because that's crazy. Like, there was no background to it. There was no discussion saying hi ho anywhere you go. No chitty chitty bang bang. No, none of that. So for me, I was like, nah, I can't wait to sit and tell you that you have to, in your next approach with wherever you're going with this, you got to learn how to say things that make women feel good. Don't nobody want to go into nothing feeling empty. Motherfucker be fucked up already, then you want to pull somebody in something even more fucked up and love them halfway and love on a whole nother motherfucker in front of you. That's not how it's done. It can be done. You just have to know your family, what you got going on in your household, and know your wife. If it's a husband, he has to know his wife. And what I mean by that is, he has to see her having issues around the house. He has to see something going on where she needs help, or she needs assistance with things to make her life easier. Now I don't know, outside of, you know, she in the garden one day going to go dig up her strawberries, and you banging the mistress over the sink, watching her out the window to make sure she ain't catching y'all. It doesn't even have to be about that. That's what most men aim for it to be about. That's what they base it all around. And that's where it gets fucked up. Now, let me explain the sin of it. The sin of it is, anybody that you sleep with other than your wife is adultery. See how that just kills all of that? Other than your wife. Men can have multiple wives, and I take that word multiple down. I don't, there's no limit on how many is low one should have, but in my opinion, after the second one, you're not even what you looking for. You ain't even about to love the first two no more. Because if you did, why would you still go seek? But this is the world that we live in. This is what it consists of. People who have sexual desires, let alone the mind process to be an adult and understand that it is very possible to love two people. It is very possible for a man to love two women. Maybe this is why when some men cheat, it's hard for them to shake that one that they've been fucking for a long time. They may have their problems. He may know that she got her fucked up ways about her, but it's something about her that makes him comfortable. And after, when it becomes years set on like that, Sweetheart, it ain't even about the sex no more. Now it's about the comfort. And it's dangerous when another woman that's not you, who should be the wife or is the wife, that's when it becomes the sin. The sin of it is you engaging with anyone outside of your wife. I hope I'm not jumping around in circles. What I mean and what I'm trying to say is there's nothing wrong with having two wives. I think anything outside of that is excessive and that's crazy, but there still has to be a purpose of why y'all need a whole nother wife. You just don't go around collecting motherfucking wives because you can. Your religion said you can. Ain't that much goddamn farm. You ain't got no cows on the farm, no goats and nothing. You ain't got to have all them damn wives. What they doing? Going out to work while you stay home? That's fucking up the structure because that's not how it's supposed to go. The man is the provider. This is why I say you have to have money to participate in shit like that. Cause when that girl mad and she aggravated cause she feel neglected and y'all you saying it's okay, it ain't okay. Don't nobody want to feel neglected. That's crazy. So I don't. Now is he a good guy? He is. He's pretty okay financially and all that other good stuff, but I can't, that whole approach just, it's a turn off because what can, like, what do you mean? Like, what do you mean would you be interested in doing potty? What do you mean? Would I be your girl or your fuck friend along with somebody else? Nah, come on. Nigga, you gotta explain that so that I can explain it to you. And this is where I usually lose at because don't nobody want to hear me. He trying to crack something or I don't know, prepare his future. That's not how I see my future. I can't, and even if there was a good explanation that he gave me behind what he said, um, I most definitely, would have passed anyway. Um, yeah, I would listen. You would find me on the front page of every newspaper in the nation, you know? So that's all I really had. I know it's late. I just wanted to come on and say hey and do a little teeny tiny live. And it should just upload right after I get off or whatnot. But I got these kids, Larry, Curly, and Mo in there. And I'm gonna go see what they're doing. My nephew fell asleep in the office on the floor playing the game. I'm like, he brought his game over here in his backpack. That's crazy. That's crazy. Technology, right? But y'all take care. I appreciate you being in here. Thank you very kindly. I may just do a part two because I feel like I haven't really covered this the way that I really want to. Might have to do something with me being tired. So I may just swing into part two tomorrow, but highlight certain clips from part one and we'll go from there. So until then, y'all have a wonderful day. It's already the next day. So you all have a wonderful morning leading into the rest of your day. And I'll see you all tomorrow.